Okay, for this 10th lesson, we will discuss and I will try to guide you in one of the most important topic to me, and it is how to choose a didgeridoo. I already published some videos on YouTube from this point of view, but I will try to go a little bit more deeper into it for many reasons. Because you are advanced players anyway, and also because I want to release a nice lesson even for people they will watch it on YouTube. I want to answer many questions I often receive with more time because not every day, but 3 or 4 times a week, I receive questions like, I found this didgeridoo on the net, or, because you also take part in Facebook groups, and many times we receive questions like, this didgeridoo that is dot painted, can you tell me if it's good for playing or not? Or can you tell me the origin of that? And usually the answers are really, really short and just say, oh, the didgeridoo is not good at all. So I want to go deeper into that and I want to explain why some didgeridoos are not good at all. So um, imagine if you are a beginner and you know nothing about the didgeridoo. The problem is also that uh, when you have to choose a didgeridoo, if you know nothing, you probably concentrate yourself on how the didgeridoo looks like. For instance, sometimes you find didgeridoos, they are like this one that is from bamboo, and I got this one just because a student told me I can't play it so well, and I'd like to buy a new one. So I said, okay, I can send you one of mine, but please send me that bamboo to me because I will use it in my studio for students. They come and they want to check if it's good or not. And I understood why he was not able to play it, and this is the reason. Okay, so it's quite common that this kind of instrument crack. Any didgeridoo can crack from wood, but the bamboo is usually quite poor. Anyway, you can barely play it. A sort of plastic pipe with a quite big diameter, and in several lessons you can also find, if you look for the didgeridoo back pressure on YouTube, you will find a video of mine that is 25 minutes long when I explain that when we make vibrating our lips, we do a sound similar to this one with our lips on the mouthpiece. I don't want to explain it too deep in the physics, but the way a wave of pressure moves from the mouthpiece to the bell, it changes sign and it goes back as a negative pressure, and it touches our lips that are closed. Then the negative wave of pressure will be bounced back. It will go again to the bell. It will change sign or phase, and it will go back to our lips. And in that case, our lips are opened. The thing is, if we use a mouthpiece that is made this way, the wave of pressure will arrive to the mouthpiece and it will be bounced back to the bell instead of touching our lips. But this wave of the positive and negative wave of pressure are the pressure that are that help us to make vibrating our lips in the perfect resonance. I think you remember the first time you tried to play the didgeridoo, and you tried maybe sometimes to make your lips vibrating, and it was not so simple. But as soon as you got the right vibration, it seems like the lips were vibrating by themselves. Usually this happens, and this happens because the positive and negative wave of pressure are able to open and close our lips. The same happens in the bagpipes. The bagpipes is made with a bag, and the pipes are inside, or maybe the pipes are outside, but there is a reed that we can't. The reed works in the bagpipes like our lips are working into the didgeridoo. But when we play the didgeridoo, we can control our lips. When we play the bagpipes, we can't do anything at all to change the vibration of the reeds. So only the wave of pressure lead the correct vibration of the reeds. Okay, so imagine how this is important for this instrument, and so how to uh, design the correct shape is fundamental to have a didgeridoo that sounds very, very simple, or you can also decide to have a didgeridoo that sounds not so simple, but with a specific sound. And you need to know which area of the capability of the didgeridoo you are sacrificing to get the best result. And so this is why I never suggest to buy a bamboo stick. Maybe it's good to have a bamboo stick with a smaller diameter. That will be better, because you reduce this area here that completely kill the back pressure. If you have a smaller diameter, also this surface will be smaller. Maybe the sound is not so good, but anyway, it's much better to play it. And I will come back again to the quality of the didgeridoo, the sound quality of the didgeridoo and playability of the didgeridoo maybe later. So if I find a student who has a very poor budget, I think it's not a problem at all. The thing is, if I only have 10 euros, I won't buy a didgeridoo on the net that is cost so few, because you will absolutely will buy something that does not work at all. You can't afford a didgeridoo that costs like one CD or a couple of CDs. It's impossible. Okay, so if someone needs to save money because he's a student, or in case someone maybe already have a quite good didgeridoo, but you want to travel and you want to take a really cheap didgeridoo and to fit it in the car, this can be a solution. This is handmade. This didgeridoo was made by Stefano Focacci. Stefano Focacci was an Italian didgeridoo player. He started playing maybe 5 or 6 years before than me. So in the early 90s or in the late 90s, I don't know. And he went to play. It was the first Italian who went on abroad for playing in the Didgeridoo Festival. In that case, was Berlin. When he went there, I didn't know at all the didgeridoo, but I met him, and he used some gray pipes that you can find in shops, in like do-it-yourself shops. This usually is for the drain pipe of the kitchen or stuff like that. This is 30 millimeter and this other one is 40 millimeters, and they are just two pipes. And this is how it sounds. Maybe it's not the best, but at least it's much, much better than a bamboo stick. And except for the decoration, because this is only black tape, and it was designed with, it was decorated with dot painting and some lines. You can also see maybe the keynotes. But the cost of this one can be less than 8 euros. Okay, so just to say. But obviously, when we don't know how to go for a good quality didgeridoo, we must choose because they look nice. And so if it's nice, if it looks nice, maybe it sounds better, but maybe not. Okay. This is my choice for students. For example, you know, the Kickstarter. And in this case I can play the overtone lines, I can play the tooth, or this other is the wooden version of the Kickstarter. Okay, this is if I want to stay on, I would say, budget didgeridoos. Just to say the prices, this can be about 40 euros. This handmade, maybe 10 euros. And mine, fiberglass one, at present is 250. And this other one is 290s. Another thing people are looking for is the material, and I spent a lot of time to mostly to discover which shape is better for playing a specific technique, or if it's better for 12 beginners, or if I want to obtain a specific color tone. But when I started playing the didgeridoo, I thought that eucalyptus was the best material for a didgeridoo. And before someone who will watch this video will start thinking, okay, so you are going to talk bad thing about the eucalyptus. This is not my purpose. So please pay attention on my idea on this topic. If we want to, and I start from the end, so it will be easier. If you want to buy traditional Idaki or Mago, that's perfect. Because if you buy a nice stick and you pay enough money for that, maybe from 600, 700 euros to 1,000, 1,500, you can buy a very nice didgeridoo. And I have some of them there. I have two Idakis from Jalguruwiwi. I have another one downstairs. I have two sticks from Gapambulu, and yeah, again downstairs I have other 5 traditional Idakis. The point is, if you buy something traditional, you can also buy something that is quite poor. I also found the Idakis, they were cheaper because people asked for something cheaper. But even if you buy something cheap, they have the traditional characteristics of the Northeast Arnhem Blend style or the West Arnhem Blend style. So that's it. So if someone wants to buy a traditional didgeridoo, he has to look for Idaki or Mago. That's it. But if someone expects to find the same quality just because the didgeridoo is made from eucalyptus, this is completely wrong. And this is my point. In the past, people complained because I often said, if you change the material, the quality sound does not change in a significant way. And they spent 20 years, more than 20 years to prove it, and they did it. The point is, the shape guides the playability and color tone. And so traditionally, the makers, they knew how to create a specific sound because they did it for thousands of years, or at least, depending on the text we look for on the net, at least hundreds of years. And so in any country we have tradition about something. Maybe we don't know exactly the rule why that happened, but we know that in Italy wine must be done that way. If you are in a small place where they make wine, but if you know nothing about how to make wine, you have to study, and you have to study several ways of making wine. This is the difference between tradition and our Western way of making things. What I did was, I didn't try to imitate them. I tried to study every possibility I could go for having a good didgeridoo. Okay, and for instance, this is one of the eucalyptus didgeridoo that you can find on the net, or for maybe tourists. And the value of this instrument can be 250 euro or something like that. Depends, but about 250 euro. If I compare it with one of mine, much more difficult to play. Someone listening those two samples probably will think that Eucalyptus Didgeridoo is better because it has a deeper keynote. But the playability of the Eucalyptus Didgeridoo is really difficult. It's something like running with the flip-flop. Yeah, that's it. And when I started playing Didgeridoo, I used to play a Didgeridoo that was a eucalyptus one, like this one. It was just decorated. And at that time, I spent 350 euros when my salary at that time was only 700 euros. And I didn't do a really poor job, but it was 2002, and I was working in Fiat Cars as an engineer. So it was anyway a quite good salary at that time. So the half of the salary was the price of one Eucalyptus Didgeridoo. And I used to play so much that just the humidity in this area was too much, and the wood started to blow, and several cracks started to open the Didgeridoos in two pieces. So I bought a new one because I really wanted to play the Didgeridoo. And someone said, "Oh, if you buy a new Didgeridoo, you have to play 5 minutes the first day, and at least for the first week, and then maybe 10 minutes the second week, and then 15 minutes the third week." I said, "No, I can't do so because I want to practice. And in this moment, I'm falling in love for this instrument, and I want to play it because maybe in 1 year, I won't be anymore with this feeling." And so I went to my father and said, "Since you are able to work the wood, can you make just a pipe from wood?" And I gave him some dimensions, and he made it, and the sound was much better than the Didgeridoo that I already used. And so I said, if he was able to make a Didgeridoo and he doesn't not know what the Didgeridoo is, I can do better than him. And I started studying. The good thing of the Didgeridoo is any pipe will sound, and the worst is any pipe will sound. So you have no idea looking at a pipe, if you don't study anything, to understand if that pipe is good or not. And this is what I try to do in more than 20 years. So another idea that I had, so one wrong idea was Eucalyptus Didgeridoo, it's better than any other material. It's not. The shape lead the sound and playability. I also heard that straight Didgeridoo and carved Didgeridoo can sound different. And I really thought so. And even this idea is completely wrong. Yeah, if you have square carves in the Didgeridoo, that is not so good because, you know, we have wave of pressure that they bounce ahead and back. And if you have square shape, the wave of pressure just partially, they bounce back and another part goes ahead, and then you can lose a bit of back pressure and you can create inharmonic resonances, okay, because we create standing waves. In case you want to go ahead with this topic, just when you watch this video again, just stop it and look for the words I told you on Google, and you will find some information. Or anyway, for maybe Henry already had it, but on this book you can find lots of information about this topic. And a great friend of mine, his name is Ilario Vannucchi. Ilario Vannucchi created a website that is called Didgeridoo.it. And now I'm the owner of that website because he stopped to curate for a while. But that was the main website where I could find information when I was really a beginner. And then I started to publish information on that. And after a while, I decided to buy it because I don't wanted to let him die. And Ilario Vannucchi once went in my house, and maybe there is a message. I don't know. Once he arrived at my home, and he started playing a rubber pipe. And when he used it, when he played straight, and when he carved it, nothing changed. The sound changed just a little bit because, you know, if you play in front of a wall or in front of a carpet or open air, the sound change. Even if you change the direction, can change something for your ears. But if you have a clip microphone on the top of it and you move it, nothing change at all. Okay, so if I design a straight didgeridoo and then I carve it, if I make larger curvature, the sound will be the same. If I make very narrow carves, something can change. But low frequencies can run along straight pipe or carved pipe without any problem. So a good didgeridoo, a good carved didgeridoo, again, is led by a good shape. And I show you something. This one, for example, that is probably cheap, I don't know, could cost about €100, €150, is from epoxy. It looks nice, and from my point of view, the shape is not bad at all. But when I try to play it, the tooth is pretty not possible to be played. I really try to do my best. This other one is from terracotta. And this is my idea of a carved didgeridoo. Okay, just to give you some ideas. And there I also have other didgeridoos. I show you one of my first didgeridoos. The first shape of my didgeridoos usually were pretty cylindrical because these were the shape. This was the shape I usually found in the didgeridoo that I used to play at the time. We were a small association with about 40 people, and many of them had thick didgeridoos. Thick didgeridoos are quite short, quite large inside because they use a drill machine to make a long hole. And the problem of that machining is If you want to go fast, you must use a quite big drill bit. Otherwise, you risk to break the drill bit. And so doing, they always have about 40 millimeters diameter inside, or maybe larger, with a pretty unmade mouthpiece. So it's just a large hole, and usually students put the mouthpiece not here in front, but completely in the side, because it's too large, and they try to play with a flat area of our mouth. But this is absolutely wrong, because this part of our lip muscles does not work properly. I can't play exactly in front. Someone complained, but yeah, it's my way of playing. I play just a little bit on the side, but not here. And just coming back to the shapes, I used to play larger didgeridoos and shorter, and it was pretty impossible to play the two. One day I took a road log that was this one, and I started to machine the outside. And as you can see, this part is much smaller than this other. And I said, oh wow, maybe I completely ruined this didgeridoo, because I worked too much the outside, and this part now is too small. But I said, okay, it doesn't matter. I will finish it and I will check how it will sound. And it sounds so nice. Just by coincidence, the basic drone and the tooth is perfectly an octave. And I show you. So this was my first didgeridoo that I created with a conical shape, and you can also read it here. And if you see this sort of decoration that is made with sort of bubbles, this is something like mushrooms, because between the bark and the wood we had some water drops, and the water drops created this design. So I broke it 2 or 3 times traveling on my flights, and I don't care at all. I love it, but it's not a problem. And this was the subject of one of my first experiment in physics of the didgeridoo. And you can find this experiment on my book, and you can also find it, because it was previously published on didgeridoophysics.ie, that is the website of Frank Geipel, and I try to explain what I did. So I took my didgeridoo and I put it with the mouthpiece on the ground, and on the mouthpiece I put a cap. So this was closed. At the bell, with a syringe, I put some water, 5 centiliter at a time, and I measured how much the water was rising. And I wrote the measurement on an Excel file, and this Excel file immediately was able to convert the egg of the water, and this gave me the diameter at each point. So at the end I had about 150 measurements, and I was able to create this didgeridoo that is made with fiberglass. So I took the measurement, I created a mold, and I did this didgeridoo. And now you can hear how they sound. Okay, it is just a short sample. Maybe the quality of the audio is not the best anyway, but just to say, if you make the same shape, the difference is really poor. And if someone say, yeah, but the vibration of the wood can change something, think about that. This didgeridoo, if I show you from close, is not a rigid didgeridoo, because okay, so the vibration of the entire pipe is disconnected, so they are two pieces. Okay, so the vibration of the material can't be catch from a microphone. Is much more important for the feeling of the musician with the didgeridoo. So if I want to push really hard, maybe I prefer to have a very solid wood, because when I play, I make the pipe vibrating, and the vibration come back to me, because my lips make vibrating the wood make vibrating my skull. And so maybe I prefer to have a thicker wood. But if I play with a soft sound, maybe having a tiny wall may be better, because it will be more resonating in my hands. It does not make sound, or it does not make sound that we can recording, but it gives the musician a feedback on his hands and on his lips and on his skull. If you want to understand exactly the quantity of sound that the didgeridoo give you back, it's enough if you play a didgeridoo, you take it with your hands this way, and you close your ears this way and play. And you can get inside of a completely different sound that is far from the sound of the didgeridoo that we know. In case you are curious more about this topic, you can also look for the face bass. That was an invention of Charlie McMahon, that is a contact microphone that you can put inside of your mouth, and is able to amplify the sound that we have in our head. And so it's the same if you close your ears and play the didgeridoo this way, or if you use a contact microphone inside of your mouth or on your cheek and you record it or you amplify it. It sounds much more electronic than the didgeridoo already is. Okay, trust me, it's really nice. Okay, so I I hope I already gave you some information about things you can avoid. Or yeah, we like a didgeridoo that has a specific design, so with colors and so on. That's okay. We like to have a straight didgeridoo or a little bit carved or a completely carved didgeridoo. That's okay. But the thing is, the shape lead the sound and playability. Okay. If I want to go deeper in some other didgeridoos, maybe the evolution or something that is more expensive than the Kickstarter can be the Sonorous. That is this one. It is more expensive mostly because, yeah, the Kickstarter is a didgeridoo that I can create at least 15 pieces a time. So I spend some days to create the inner shape, and then some other days the outer shape, and then I glue them, and then I sand them, and then I paint them and everything. So I do all the didgeridoos in batch. If I have to create this didgeridoo that I call Sonorous, the quality of the sound or the design that I spent for it is pretty the same. The dimensions are a little bit bigger, so the bell in this case is, yeah, I try to show you. So this one is a bit bigger, so means that I use a bigger planks from wood. I also use a different wood because this is fir that is very cheap. This is Swedish pine that is much more expensive, much heavier and stronger. But anyway, the quality can be the same. Maybe the sound is a bit more powerful. Or if I want to go on more complex didgeridoo, I made this one with the help of Frank Geipel, and as you can see there are some small bubbles that they replicate the inner shape, and in this case I can play a major scale of E. Or a similar one but with a minor scale in D. And they are made with a software that I'm going to show you. The last one that is completely different. This is in C major scale, but in this case the distance between the basic drone and the tooth is a major third. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, again, D, E. Okay, so it's 13 key notes distant. This is not the best for playing the overtone, to play the toots, but is much better for playing the overtone lines. And probably Anya would enjoy this didgeridoo because it's quite large compared to this one.
Yeah. Andrea, can I ask?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Because I bought the prototype from you in
Yeah.
C. You called it Crystal, I think. It was
Yeah.
the one with the picture on your. That was the prototype. Is that one of those in the background, or do
No,
you
this
make them?
this one, I don't have it a new one ready. I started with that prototype, and this is also an important point.
Yeah.
I often do prototypes and I try to improve the shape. And I started with the crystal that I still think it's good, so I can even produce them anyway. With the Frank Geipel software, I tried with him to create a new shape with a larger diameter, so this is even larger.
Yeah, I see it's larger. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really quite big for it's huge like my face.
Yeah.
Uh, but I wanted to create a didgeridoo with good overtones, especially for the holistic field, because the didgeridoo is an instrument that has harmonic and inharmonic components, and it's important that if you want to make someone relax, you have to avoid to give him some sounds they can be stressy for him. And so I did my best to tune this didgeridoo with a good quality of the harmonics.
Mm.
Okay, so I also wanted to show you this shape because it's completely different from the others. One of the worst description of a didgeridoo is this didgeridoo is good for playing any style. It's impossible.
Mm.
It's absolutely impossible. It's something like if you go to buy a motorbike and the vendor say to you, this motorbike is perfect to go to run a race on the highway, and you can also go to the mountains.
Mm.
You can do one or the other. If you are in the middle, you are in trouble in the mountains and even in a race. That's it. So it's better to have a motorbike to go on the mountain, another motorbike to go on a race. That's it. And it's also possible to do something for playing many styles. And this is why I made the Kickstarter. But the Kickstarter is not good for playing any style. It's good to play for playing quite any technique. But as many does, even professional player, they buy it because they want to practice more with that, and maybe they also go with larger didgeridoos then, because they learn the technique and then they move to a more complex didgeridoo. From my point of view, and this is what I'm working on in these days, trying to make a shape with larger neck but much easier to play, because usually large neck, they are a disaster, and this is why I rarely make them. but I'm spending more time than I thought. But this is also another good point. If I create a shape and I modify them little by little, and after 2 years I find a good shape, I can also improve it maybe in the next 10 years. But I spent so many hours that they are not enough for myself, for my job, if I just sell one didgeridoo.
No.
I can't spend maybe 200 hours making simulation, making prototypes, and then I make just one didgeridoo, and I should have to sell it for, I don't know, 5,000 euro or maybe more.
Yeah.
And maybe that didgeridoo is a good didgeridoo for playing that technique, but it's nothing crazy to say, wow, okay, 5,000 euro, but it's worth the price. So I prefer to spend more time on prototyping, and then I create a shape and I continue to sell that shape. This way I could spend, I don't know, not too much on with the Kickstarter, because it's a shape that started with the first didgeridoo I made. I just created a shape better for students, so I just modified a shape that I already knew that was very good for playing. But with larger neck, I really had to explore and to make shapes and shapes. So probably next month I will have the a new shape again. I show you something about how I make simulation. So when I started, I used to make shapes just by experience. I made several tries, and then I said, okay, if I want to have an E didgeridoo, must be about long so or so, depending if I want to have a tooth in an octave higher or a 13th note higher or something like that. But it was just by trying to guess. Okay, I was able, was not so simple. I was always quite stressy because I was uncertain about the result. But then I started working with the university in Modena, and we created a software to put the dimension and to get the result of the resonances of the fundamental and the tooth. And this was something good for me to understand roughly if I was going in the right in the right direction. So I show you one software that I use if I have to go really quick ahead and I have to share my screen. Condividi dove? Ah. Okay. In this case, I just write 0, that is the length, and then I put the radius 15 millimeters. This means 30 millimeters radius, then maybe 600 millimeters, 18 millimeters radius, and then 1200. Okay, I just create a shape. Okay, this is the shape I designed. Maybe I can also do something like in this case, this software says that the fundamental is 65 hertz, and the first hertz is 146 hertz. This is the bore, and this also tell me where I can work to tune. This tell me the position in which I can enlarge or decrease the diameter of the didgeridoo to tune better the toots. Okay, just this. You can create the shape you want, and you usually have a good result. But it's just a calculator, and any calculator, you can put numbers in it, and you get numbers back. So it's important that you know which ingredients you are putting in it, and you need to be able to read the results. Just to say, if I make a comparison with food, imagine if you go in your kitchen you have fruits, vegetables, meat, and cheese, and milk, and soap for washing the dishes, and many other things. You can put some of those ingredients in the grinder, and you can get something to drink. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not, and sometimes you die. Okay.
Yeah.
That's the point. So at least we need to know the ingredients we want to put in it, or at least which kind of result we want to have. If we want to have something sweet, then we can choose, maybe we can decide to go for sugar, or honey, or other syrups from, I don't know, maple, or I don't know. Okay, if we want something salty, we have several ingredients where we can find the salty taste. And how much? A few or a lot? We need to drink it a lot, or we just want to taste it. Okay, that's it. That's the same for the didgeridoo making. If we don't know where we want to go, having a software is nothing. You can create a shape, you make it, you spend time, you try to play it and say, okay, the numbers were really nice, but so I can make a didgeridoo so long that sounds really, really deep, theoretically. But in the reality, absolutely not. You can't play it at all. Okay, so having a good knowledge is important. But what I want to show you is another software. I shared my screen again. This software was made by Frank Geipel, and I'm so honored to have it because it's really rare. In this case, we have 40 segments, and I can take one point and I can modify the shape this way. Okay, and you see that something is changing. Maybe if I take the 20 shape, or the let me check if I find something easier to show you. Yeah, maybe this one. I share another version. Okay, this version is more simple. Yeah, there is a shape. Don't look too much at the shape. So this is the below is the shape of the didgeridoo that you see right now, and this curvature is the same shape of one side of the didgeridoo. It is just scaled in a wrong way to have a better idea in where it enlarge or decrease the diameter of the didgeridoo. So this is the mouthpiece, for instance, and I can do so. okay? And then I can check and see what happened in the spectrum. So the black spikes are the tooths, and the red area is the spectrum of the fundamental. The black area is the spectrum of the first tooth. So for us, it's important the black and the red for now. And you can see that if I change one point, I change quite completely the spectrum. So trying to, every time you want to increase the diameter or decrease the diameter in a specific area, everything move, everything continue to move. So tuning the didgeridoo by experience, as I usually do it, is really a mess. And so Frank also did another software that I want to show you. Schermi, dove è finito? I have so many windows opened. Okay, this one. Okay. This is the code of the software in which we have lots of details, and yeah, to run this software we have to decide, in this case is a shape I was creating with very few details. So in this case I'm deciding the distance between the basic drone and the tooth, defined by this number, the distance between the second tooth and the fundamental with this number, and the third tooth with this number, and so on. I tell the software also that the minimum diameter is this one in the first segment, and the maximum is this one in the same segment, and so on for all the others. And then I run a simulation. I can also do it with you right now. I just open one simulation that I can run. Okay, I share the screen again. Okay, this for instance is the last shape I was working on. I can share it right now because these numbers tell exactly nothing. And if I want to run it, I just click on. And now you will see that the red curve, that is the average between the minimum and the maximum diameters through the entire length, will going to change dramatically in very funny, strange, and not good shapes. But the software will make simulation by simulation by simulation, and will choose some, it will check several shapes that they give a quite good result in just specific details, and will take a part of it and a part of another curve, and it will join together. It's something like father, mother, son. And then if the son will be better, then it will take a piece of the son, a piece of another son. It will go again, father, mother, and another son. This is why here in red you can find it generation. This is the first generation of curvature, of shapes, and little by little it will goes ahead. Now I push it for to run 200 generations, and so that will be 200 generation, and little by little we will find a shape. It takes time. It takes about 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, and you get a result. then you must judge if that shape is good or not for you. It's not just this is an oracle and give you a solution and that solution is good. If I don't like the shape, because I know by experience that that shape probably won't be so good, I will try to change some details. Maybe I can ask for different boundaries, or maybe I can also add a new boundary to try to obtain the results in number that I like, but also the shape that I know it will play very good. Okay, so this software will go ahead. At present I already have the solution of this simulation, and when I will send you the video to this lesson, I will add in the info box just below even a link of an entire simulation that I made just to make something to show you, and you will see the description of every detail of the red area, the black area, the blue area, and so on in the description aside, and you will see the entire simulation in just 1 minute. So 100 minutes we will run in just 1 minute. So I accelerated 100 of time this kind of simulation, and this now is the best way I know to tune a didgeridoo as I want. And to me this is important, because I know that making didgeridoos is art, absolutely. Like cooking is art. But imagine if I go in a three-star restaurant, and it is really expensive, and you probably can pay even more than 300 euros for a dinner. You go one time there, and they serve you risotto with mushrooms, and it is so nice, but really so nice. And then you ask your friends, come with me, we will go to the same restaurant, they make a risotto with mushrooms, it is so nice, but so nice. And you go there, and yeah, maybe it's nice, but it's completely different. And you ask the cook, why did you change your recipe? And they say, because cooking is art, and so I every time change my recipe. This is unbelievable. So this is how this is my concept on making didgeridoos. So I want to make art, but I don't want to hide myself. I don't know if it works the same in English, but in Italy we say, I don't want to hide myself behind just a finger. Okay, so I don't want to cheat myself. I don't want just to make shapes, 100 of shapes, and then I tell the people, okay, choose the shape you want, and I have no knowledge, no idea about how to suggest a didgeridoo to a student. To me, it's really important that I have families of didgeridoos for staccato playing, for overtone lines, for holistic field, or any other technique I want, for overdrive, for playing beatbox, and so on. And I have those shapes, and then I can so just to say, when someone asks me, can you send me the catalog of your didgeridoos? I don't want to do that, because I need to know, what do you want to play? If I send you all the shape I have, you will be confused. That's it. To me, it's much more important to understand what do you want to play. And if I don't want if I don't have a shape that you need, okay, not a problem. I will make one for you. Okay, so this is why I created just one didgeridoo or two didgeridoos, one from wood and another one from fiberglass, for beginners or for students they really want to study, because it's not important to me if you want to choose the shape. If you are a beginner, you have to trust me. No choice. Otherwise, you can spend hours of time on the net looking for the best colored didgeridoo that sounds maybe quite bad. So if someone trusts me, it's better if it tells me what they want to do, even because there is not so much knowledge in the didgeridoo world about shapes and quality sound and playability. There is a bit. In the last few days, ChatGPT 5 came out, and every time a new technology came out, I tried to test it, asking specific question in a very small niche where I know quite well the answer. And so, for example, when we had Wikipedia for the first time, I went on Wikipedia to ask, say something about the didgeridoo, and I went on the didgeridoo page, and I found some mistakes here and there, and that gave me even the feeling, the confidence about other words that I didn't know at all. I know if we talk about physics or mathematics or chemical stuff, probably Wikipedia is good. But if we move in historical, where the opinions matters more than numbers, maybe it's a problem. If we talk about the didgeridoo, where there is historical stuff and even opinions, it's even worse, or can be worse. And so I went to ChatGPT and I asked it, which are the best or the most important didgeridoo makers. They released the most important contents about didgeridoo physics. And ChatGPT named myself and the university in Australia. That's it. I'm really honored for that. But this also means that in the didgeridoo world, we have a few contents. That's it. I'm happy for that. But this is too small. Really too small. Okay? So if this is the result, this also means that we are missing something of the culture of the didgeridoo sound design. And so I can accept, I can listen, paying very much attention on criticism about how the physics I use, Frank Geipel uses. I don't want to talk about him for this case, but I want to name him because he made a great job. I don't know exactly his opinion on what I'm saying right now. But very often people say, this sounds really cold. This is really cold and without too much the art. The thing is, I don't think so, because to reach this result, I had to give up many small parties on the riverside, avoiding beer and meat and maybe some joints because I really wanted to go deeper into this field. And then another way of saying in Italy is I roughly translated, learn the art and then take it in your pocket. When you have to learn the art, you have always to take measurement, and so you go there with your meter to measure everything and to write anything, to take decision, to make calculation, to try and try again, and something is wrong, so start again with a calculation, and so this is really bad. This looks really harmful, I don't know, painful, okay, yeah, because it looks boring and stressy, but if you do it several and several times, then it will be like talking. When we learned how to talk, how to write, at the beginning was painful because some letters looked quite the same, and even the how to spell and to write and to this to say the entire correct sentence. So my English is not perfect at all. I try to do my best to talk in the best English I can, but I know I make lots of mistakes. Unfortunately, I'm quite old and maybe I can improve it. But yeah, this is the point. But when we started as kids, we spent hours and hours and hours because we wanted to reach a good communication. And the same when I do this job, I work to reach the best result. And yeah, at the beginning was quite painful, but now it's not simple, but I'm more confident with it. And yeah, it's a passion like the others. Probably it's the same when I watch a football match. Sometimes I don't know exactly the rules, or maybe basketball. I don't know the rules in basketball. I did it once when I was a kid. I just see people, they are running and they can say, oh, that's quite boring.
Yeah.
To me, it's boring because I don't know the rules. But if you learn the art, then this will go into your bones and you will go ahead without thinking about that. And so when I try to teach how to make a good didgeridoo, I usually do my best to go this direction and to make the people passionate about that. Okay? So I know the beginning could look unfriendly, but it was the same when I started playing saxophone for the first time, and my teacher said, okay, I give you these CDs where you can listen to other saxophone player. And immediately when I started listening them, I said, I don't want to play the saxophone anymore because it's too advanced. And it was frustrating. So don't think so. It's not, it can be frustrating, but in case someone want to go this direction, it's important to make one step by step. It's the same as I tried also to explain from the first one that I made by coincidence with no knowledge to the last software I showed you. So this was the last part of this lesson. It was longer than usual. I hope you enjoyed. Trust me, I want just to tell you something important to me. A few months ago, I went to Frank Geipel house after a small festival in Austria. I went to visit him and he gave me a USB key with this software, And I was so proud of that because in the world we only have two copies of this software, one in my house and one in his house. Uh, Trust me, I really risked to cry as a kid because I think this is one of the best work I have ever seen in the didgeridoo field. And yeah, that's it. That's it. Um, I'm so happy for that, and I really wanted to show you not the potential because you can do much more than I showed you, but at least that something exists. And we don't need to have 20,000 of people they follow us. Sometimes it's important to have a small number of students they are really passionate on that. That's it. And I simply love it. Okay. Okay. So guys, it was really a pleasure. See you soon, even because the next Didgeridoo Club will be quite soon. Let me check. Yeah, in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay. So see you. Bye
So
bye.
thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.